buy it for the low, sell it for the high. Like, I don't got to sell grills. I can get rich off of selling toilet paper. If I want it, like, I know for a fact that I can make $1 million selling toilet paper. Like, if I get a great plug for toilet paper and then I post up somewhere selling toilet paper for cheaper than Giant is selling toilet paper, guess where everybody going to buy their toilet paper from? Everybody going to be copping that Downy from me. Now I'm the plug. Don't overthink business.
Yeah.
Business is not to be overthought. Like, it
Definitely.
is supply,
and demand.
demand,
That's it.
and then profits.
Yep.
And margin. Like,
Yep.
Capitalism. Free market. The man is trying to subjugate us.
What's good, my people? Welcome back to another episode of Got This in Black. It's the kid Chukwunwike, and to my lefter, Andima. What's poppin'?
Hi, everyone.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I had a good, busy week.
Busy week at work?
Busy week at work.
Okay.
And then the weekend before, I had a me day, which was really nice.
That's good.
You got to take those personal days, personal time, so you can recuperate.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling good.
That's good.
Feeling rested.
That's good.
What about you?
I am doing okay. I'm not as rested, but yeah, last night was a later night at my church. We had like a worship night, and it was rocking, so we was there till like midnight. So
love that.
But it was good. Just overall, just like I'm in a weird season, you know, trying to transition into fashion design. So I'm still awaiting my acceptance letter from FIT. I'm speaking that into existence. So I think by the time it drops, I'll know by then. So yeah. And then this weekend is just, we'll see. It's chill. Like, not the weather isn't the greatest, but you know, might get some sleep out of it. So yeah. But you know, as you guys know, we are your favorite Black fashion show, and in doing that, we like to speak about all aspects of fashion. So one aspect that we like, that we haven't had a chance to highlight, is accessories. So today, like we always have, a special guest to my left. So introduce yourself and tell the people what you do.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rich. I'm the owner of a company called Rich Grillz. We specialize in dental regalia. Some people might call it fronts. Some people might call it grills, like in the name. But either way, anything dealing with precious metals and teeth, not just teeth, custom jewelry, period. That's where I got my bones at. That's our niche in the world. So if you're in the DMV and interested in getting the finest adornment for your beautiful smile, check us out.
Then listen, I'm calling it dental
regalia
from now on.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that.
Dental regalia. You better brand that.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, Rich.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Hey, I'm blessed.
I'm
blessed to be here, you know. Blessed to be here. I can't complain. Time is on my side right now. So
okay.
Just enjoying the ones I got every second, minute, hour of it.
Word. Okay, so
that's how you got to do it.
Yeah. So before we get into the conversation, let's get into the clothing. I'm going to start with myself today. So I'm wearing a full sweatsuit from AO Studio 21. This is the Good Energy sweatsuit. So last episode, I actually wore another piece because I directed the photo shoot. So they had 3 pieces. They had like a sweater, which I wore which I want. In the previous episode, it comes in black and green. They have this jumpsuit. It comes in black and like a more like pinkish color. And then the next episode, I'll wear another piece from there. This hat is from Alain Fagnidi. He is one of the designers that when I went to Fashion Week in August 2023, I got to work behind his show. So he gave me this as a little token of his appreciation. So that is pretty dope. And yeah, that's it. So
Fire.
Yeah, it's fine.
Super fire.
What you got on, Brody?
Hey, I got on some Zara pants. This is like my rain fit. It's crazy. It's a monsoon outside right now.
Driving here, bro. It was not visible.
I got this nice little Chanel, little Nike sweater.
Okay.
You know, shout out to Brianna bought me this. Okay. You know, she cool. She got a good fashion eye herself. Super icy. I love this sweater. And I got on some G4 shoes. These golf shoes for real. So I gotta dress for golf every day.
Okay.
Like I used to dress for women. Now I dress to make sure that I could go get my money and go play some golf if needed.
That's what's up. What about you? What you got for Andima?
These are some Maniere De Voir, French brand, black owned.
I heard about that brand, I think via TikTok, and I wrote it down because I was helping my friend. I helped him, I did a style audit with my friend's closet because he's trying to switch his style. So I was like, let's go through what you have. So I did it. So I was creating a document for a brand. So I started looking up some brands, and I heard of that brand on TikTok.
I feel like I don't want to call them a social media brand, because nowadays, if you have a new emerging brand, social media is the way that you, put your brand out there. But that's how I found them.
Yeah.
And I really like their stuff. I feel like the way that their stuff is shaped is really it's flattering. They have cool silhouettes, so I like them. I have a couple pieces from them.
That's good.
And then I have my socks are River is Wild, which was gifted to me by our friends over at River is Wild.
Hey, shout out to them.
Shout out to them. And then as far as black owned, what else I got? Oh, this. So I don't know if y'all can see this ring. It's like stacked rings, but back in the day, she still does it, but my aunt used to have a plus size Ankara line. And so she would kind of go to all of those festivals and bazaar type events. And so I would help her with the tabling. And I would go around and look at all the jewelry and stuff like that. So there's a lot of sterling silver jewelry that was made by black artisans. And so that's where I got this ring. It's one of my favorites. And I actually forgot about it because I don't really wear silver.
I was about to say, you're definitely a gold.
Yeah,
you're a gold girl.
Gold, but there's silver all over this. So I was
right.
Okay.
So yeah, you had to make it do what it do.
Yep.
Okay, I like it sense. I love the pants.
Dang, I didn't get the memo. I was supposed to put on some black on today. My
that's
bad.
Chuck's fault. He's supposed to tell you.
He definitely told me. I definitely feel like he told
you.
me.
Okay.
But I look at my black on like some designer. When I saw that rain outside, it didn't even enter my mind. I said, let me throw on a lesser brand. But shouts go out to all the designers out here making a wave.
Okay. So what? All right. This just pull me somewhere. So what are some of the black designers you got in your closet? Just drop some.
Pray for Love is my favorite brand right now.
Okay.
I love their energy. I love everything about them guys, man. I love the energy. I love everything. It's people. I love when the clothes really have a dialectical symmetry with the designers of those clothes.
Yeah.
Get a little insight into them and what they about.
Yeah.
I think the people over at Eat, I think they like legendary people. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just a legendary brand.
Yeah.
Stay Rich.
Okay.
Stay Rich is my brand. I love that brand. I feel like I be making fire. In my closet right now, 8 pieces of wheat. Super, super exclusive brand. It's so hard to get her clothes. You won't even find her. You won't even find her. She probably make 100 of each piece, and she just sells it to her friends and family.
That's dope.
So fire. She's so fire. She's my favorite designer in the world. For real.
Love that.
But yeah, those just a few. It's some others. There's some legends out here. So shouts go out to all of y'all.
Okay.
Wait, I have a quick question just for people who are listening. Tell the people where you're from, and if they can't guess. It's pretty obvious, but
I'm from the District of Columbia originally, but I consider myself to be a little DMV mutt, straight up. I was out Baltimore for a minute.
Okay.
I was
DMV mutt.
That's hilarious.
Straight up. I got my first job was in Pentagon City. You know what I'm saying? Then Penatomic Mills, you feel me? I'm really a DMV mutt. I love the DMV. Period. It's my favorite little metropolitan in the world.
Okay.
I'm gonna steal that because I consider myself a DMV mutt as well. Because you are kind of too. Actually, me more so. Okay. He's no, PG County all the way.
I'm born and raised, still live in PG County.
For me, I lived in DC on and off.
Yeah.
Went to boarding school in Virginia, and then I'm from Maryland. But I guess I'm the part of Maryland that's not really considered the DMV because I'm from Like
So
my
there's
family's
this-
from, my mom's from Baltimore.
There's this whole, so it's funny because there's like, I feel like there's iterations of the term DMV. Like now DMV now literally means all of DC, all of Maryland,
Oh, you
all of
think so?
Virginia. No, now they're trying to pattern.
Now, okay.
Because a big thing they're trying to do is they're trying to sell everybody outside of the area on like the music and the art, and it's easier if you include everybody, because trying to explain that
Yeah.
even though we say Maryland or Virginia, it's
But
not
not
all
Baltimore,
one our stuff like that. It's harder, so we're just like everybody's included, and then it's like now even some of the people who are now included don't even want to be included. It's just this whole thing because. The original term, from what I remember, is really DC metro vicinity. So basically, anywhere the metro line touched, that was the DMV.
I've actually never heard that DC metro vicinity. I mean,
Yes.
it makes sense because they were not. Yeah.
So
they- I guess.
that definition makes more sense about what parts of like
Yeah,
Maryland
yeah,
and Virginia that touches, and then
Yeah.
those that don't. But
Yes, it does.
now I think it's just
Where
everything
you can get to.
Yeah,
It's
basically
Yeah.
where you
always
get
been
to.
like where you can get to. Like
Yeah.
I could get from Springfield to LaFont Plaza to Brinkley Road, like Southern Avenue. Like I get green line, red line, yellow line, like A2, P12. Like I could, those places you could navigate the area, but the DMV term is expanding now because the logistics of transportation is changing too.
Yeah.
So now you got MARC trains
Yeah.
and all other types of innovations in the travel space just locally.
Yeah.
That's kind of making the world a bigger place.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was funny because I was talking to somebody that's on like doing their grad at University of Maryland, and like the whole Maryland campus is shut down now because they're building the Purple Line across the campus.
Where does the Purple Line supposed to go?
The first line is supposed to go far. I can't remember exactly where it is, but everything here is slow, bro. When it comes to building, this Purple Line gonna come to another decade probably, but it's
You gotta
supposed
make
to
like
reach
36 millionaires before you see that joint. They
Yeah.
gonna milk that project to the end.
facts.
Did y'all hear about the monumental sports deal and how like the attorney general snapped back and was like,
Nah, we ain't.
it was
rocking.
like, nah, like the way that the contract was written, like we're supposed to get the tax revenue for an extra, like, I don't know, like
It's like
20 years.
2047 or something
Yeah,
like that.
2047, because it was like 20 years from like when they did the paperwork. Like if you move the brand out, so you can't buy us out because we're not going to get the tax revenue, because it was both, you're going to pay us back and give us the tax revenue, and you can't estimate what the tax revenue is. I kind of feel like it's not a sound legal argument. I don't know if it's going to hold up in court because
I have no idea what y'all talking about. Right
So,
Oh, sorry.
So Monumental Sports owns the Wizards, the Mystics, and the Capitals. They were trying to move to VA. They're trying to move the whole Capital one to VA.
To
basically.
Alexandria
Alexandria
specifically, yeah.
specifically.
Yeah, like Potomac Yards.
Something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
And so like I think the deal didn't go through, so they were still trying to move, because I heard now they were even talking about, there was like a brief discussion about it trying to move to Maryland. And then that's when then I saw the tweet about the DC Attorney General in an article basically saying like, nah, we got you locked in until 2047, my bro. So where do you think you going? But my whole thing is like, bro, why are you moving? Like, I can't imagine any other city that you're moving the city that the team is named of out of the city.
I
Like,
know.
imagine if they moved the Atlanta Hawks to somewhere outside
Yeah.
of Atlanta, or the LA
Yeah.
team outside of somewhere Atlanta. Like the DC
I mean, some
team.
of that stuff has happened with LA and like some of the
LA,
California.
Dallas playing Austin,
I mean, but
Texas.
they literally moved though and changed the name. Like there was some in Oakland, they
True.
moved to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But it's like if it's in the thing, it's in the thing. But don't go next door.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can't. Like I don't even the Commanders playing in Maryland is a little bit funny to
Oh, you
me.
talking about them Landover Commanders?
Basically, the Landover
The
Command.
Landover
But it's like, bro,
Commanders.
if it's Washington Wizards, Washington DC Wizards, they need to be playing in Washington DC. Like it's very
Yeah,
simple.
yeah,
The Washington Mystics need to be Washington Mystics.
Yeah.
The Washington Capitals,
Especially
the
for
Washington
basketball.
Nationals.
Like I'm just like, it's not even like a whole football stadium. It's just like basketball. Like, come on now, stop it.
and then it's like you're going to kill all the businesses around
Yes,
there.
yeah.
Like literally, you're going to kill all the businesses.
And businesses are already moving out of DC.
I don't know. I think DC good. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
I feel
know.
like they're gonna kill the business, and then it's like the job thing as well too.
the job part
Yeah.
is really going to be substantial because we talked about what that DC metro vicinity, like the fact that job gives so many people from all different parts of our area access to travel to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if Ted, I think his name's Ted Leonis. If you're listening, stay in DC, my brother.
I ain't gonna hold you though. Some of these teams probably need to move. Try the furthest y'all get these athletes away from Connecticut Avenue, the better.
But I mean, it's just like, listen.
You don't want to say it, bro.
Hey, but it's just like being in a lot of major cities, bro. LA, there's parties. New York, there's party, bro. Be on your game. That can't be.
It ain't the same. You can't go to LA. You try to go party or night of party in a different spots in LA, bro. You're gonna be driving 30 minutes between each spot. Like you can't go Connecticut Avenue to U Street to M Street to 8th Street.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Adams Morgan. Like you can there's so many places playing hip hop music. You don't get that nowhere else in the world. I didn't know this was
a problem. So like the athletes are out like
I ain't saying that. Like, shout out to all of the. I think that a major problem in DC sports is a problem that transcends sporting events.
Okay.
Anyway, you can get lost in DC culture, like, and it's kind of like Atlanta culture is similar. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's a lot of options, it's a lot of distractions. So I'm not saying that it's the DC athletes are having a problem. I'm just saying that every professional in DC has a problem with distractions in the city. Like.
Period. That's why I don't live in the city, because I'd be distracted as hell.
All I'm gonna say is they didn't call him Rose Bar John Wall for nothing. Okay, next point. So we're gonna do a little. Shout out John Wall. I love John Wall.
One of my favorite NBA players.
I love John Wall.
All right, so first thing is we're gonna do our. I think I like the name Fashion Fantasy Bracket. I'm gonna just stick with that. We'll name it later or something like that, but. We're gonna name. We're gonna bring you some options. There's gonna be a left side of the bracket, a right side of the bracket.
Okay.
We got to get to the point where the graphics actually like show this, because that would. Be,
I was actually thinking about that, and we're gonna make it happen.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna start with the right side of the bracket. So there's gonna be two initial round matchups. So the first matchup is going to be the Air Force 3 versus the Spizike.
Air Force 3.
Air Force 3? Okay. I have to actually write this down because I'm going to mess this up.
Yeah.
All right, bet. The next one is going to be the Blue Foam Posit versus the Jordan Retro 8.
Blue Foam Posit.
Blue Foam Posit. Okay.
Shout out to Penny.
Very DC.
Very DC. All right, left side of the bracket, we go on Pirate Black Yeezy 350 D2 versus the Nike 95 and 360 combo.
Pirate Black, Adidas, Yeezy.
Okay.
Vote Yeezy, vote yay.
Vote Yeezy, vote yay. All right, and then the next one will be the Suitcase Jordan 17 versus the Nike Air Diamond Turf. The Nike
That Suitcase.
Suitcase?
That Suitcase was crazy. That's the first $200 Jordan.
It was. That Suitcase was legendary.
Yeah, I got to go and Google all this afterwards, because
they know. That's that Wizards. You
I
talk
don't even
about
know what
DC culture.
what these shoes are.
You talk about DC
Those
culture.
are the New Balance 9060s. 9060.
906. How do they name them?
Oh, I don't know.
So, like with the newbies, man, the newbies then came a long way.
Facts.
Because back in the days, and you talking about DC, I think DC got got a long-standing relationship with New Balance.
Oh yeah,
for real.
So we
at least
they,
know that.
we got them popping. Like even
Yes.
there's an article where the person, like somebody high in New Balance, they literally said like DC was an integral part in the business of New Balance.
Because earlier was 3 tiers. You had the 564, that was the $60 New Balance. You had the 99. So you had the 990s, 991s, 992s, 993s, and those was like back then. It was like the $135 option, and then you had them 2000s.
Yeah, the 2000s.
Them 2000s and 1500s. Them joints was the $200 newbies. Yeah. So like it's just evolved over time.
Yeah. All right, so let's finish the right side of the bracket. We got the Air Force 3 versus the Blue Foam.
Air Force 3.
Air Force 3. And then the left side, we got the 350s versus the Suitcase.
That Pirate Black Yeezy, that first Pirate Black Yeezy, to me, is one of the most beautiful shoes in the world.
Okay. So finish it off, we got the Air Force 3 versus the Pirate Black.
With that being said, Air Force 3.
Air Force 3.
It's a rare sneak, and nobody like them. Nobody like them. That's kind of probably how I got here. Talk about the Air Force 3s. Well, bro, like them joints really, I love them shoes. You couldn't find them joints nowhere, bro. Like And back in the days when this is like the beginning of hype beast culture, like to find a fire silhouette that you appreciate, but people don't really appreciate, like, but when people see them, they love them. Like that's gold.
Yeah, that's definitely gold. All right, so Rich, let's get into a little bit of your story. If y'all don't know, and y'all get to find out, Rich is a multifaceted individual in many aspects. So start us from the beginning when you were younger. Like, tell us, early onset story, any early memories of fashion. Let's start from there.
Stories, early memories of fashion. I remember being bummy for sure, like, cause we was just broke for real. And my older sister got a job at McDonald's, and then she got a job at Old Navy.
That's the kicker.
I don't think people appreciate Old Navy.
They don't
enough. Like them painters jeans back in the day. So I remember one birthday I had, like my birthday on Christmas Eve. So I never really used to get all excited about birthdays because I know like
you're gonna get one gift for combine it.
Yeah, and it's not even a one gift. We had multiple gifts, but I would have got those gifts anyway for Christmas.
Right.
I'm just opening them a day earlier. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but my older sister came in the house with like, them big laundry bags with that indestructible material. The only thing break is the zipper.
Yeah.
Right. with the little cheap Burberry print on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, he talking about a Ghana Must Go bag.
You know that big bag?
He's talking about a Ghana Must Go bag. As soon as he said Burberry print and then the zipper break, I said he has to be talking about a Ghana Must Go bag. He has to be.
I did not even think about that.
Yeah.
She came in that joint with a big bag. It had like 3-4 pairs of painters denims in it. It had a hobo sweatsuit in it. It had a shooter sweatsuit in it. It had a Sabiato headband and keychain in it.
Oh, she got you out the way.
She got me out the
Got
way.
you out the way.
It had the Bugs Bunny Jordan 7s in that joint. She had this 5-pair of Converse I never seen. My older sister used to drop bags on me, like. She used to drop bags on me. She got me fly. I always say that. Like, not saying that I'm the flyest person in the world, but whatever fashion sense I have been able to acquire over my life, like my big sister definitely was the first financier of it. And after that, this was when I'm like 10, 11. After that, I started working and I started working at Foot Action.
Okay.
Well, shout out to all of them guys, man, because we was moving shoes, bro. I was a part-timer, and my sales was like with the full-timers, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm 14, 15 years old at the time, like, and then they got me connected with Up Against the Wall, with some more legendary fashion people in the area. Like, it's some legendary fashion people that come out of that Up Against the Wall, like coaching tree for real. So back then we used to call ourselves the cool kids. Like Foot Locker used to send us tables, like Foot Lockers would get us tables at Ibiza.
For real?
You know what I'm saying? Fur, like
You
like,
taking it back Ibiza.
Can I also say that my favorite, like my dream job is that I wanted to work at Foot Locker. Like that was my dream job. Like I was like, but you couldn't get that
hard
job.
to get in a Foot Locker.
You couldn't get
was.
that job. It was impossible.
The cashier of my mother's job. My mother used to work at a food court, and the cashier, her job, daughter was the assistant manager.
So you had to connect.
I had a plug. I had that El Plaga.
Really on the plug. Really on the
I
plug.
got up in there. Like, these were some hard places to get into.
Yes.
Real,
Because I'm like, bro, Up Against the Wall. I remember shopping there in high school, but I used to go there all the time and get my LRG, bro.
Yeah. Yes. What was LIG? Lifted Gifted Research?
Lifted Research Group.
Lifted Research Group?
Yes.
Yeah. Fire. They had like a solid, like, I give them like an 18-month run.
Yeah.
They had a solid 18-month run where they made them some money, but like Up Against the Wall, Foot Locker, those was like my early, that was like some early precious moments for me where I really learned like how older people dressed. You know what I'm saying? Like I learned how older people dressed then. And so when I was in high school, I was really dressing like I was 25 for real.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my mind was at. I'm like, man, y'all wearing creative recreations in this joint. Like,
Don't do creative recs like that.
I'm wearing Prada. Like, I was feeling.
Oh, the Prada, the uniform for the club joints?
The club joints, the
my
Love
God.
nightclub
Yes,
Pradas.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? Like the Love nightclub Pradas, bro. Like, you know,
Hey, them joints did numbers. Like, they hit DC like crack in the 80s. Like, everybody, like, if you was going to like the club from like 18 to 21 at a certain time, everybody had Pradas and mad colors, either the black or the gray with the red, the gray with green, like whatever it was. Like, I remember
they started making fake Pradas
they did.
and selling them at the Baltimore flea market. That's how crazy it got. Like, I had the all blacks.
Oh yeah,
I had the all blacks. I ain't gonna lie. I had them blue joints with the white and the red Prada on the tongue. I definitely had those too. I wasn't proud of them, but I had those.
I remember I was telling him before we shot, I'm like, I got all this purview through Arenze, my brother, because he was like at that age, because he's 3 years older than me. So it's like I saw him wearing everything, so I couldn't wait for him to pass them joints down. Like, I couldn't wait till I start going to Love, and I'm like, yeah, let me hold them Pradas, bro. Before I go to the club, he let me hold them joints. Where I felt like the man in them joints.
I definitely feel like the man, bro. With them shiny joints.
Yes.
Shiny patent leather. Boy,
The only thing I can relate to in this conversation is going to Love. Because I did not know. I was not into streetwear until during the pandemic. So I was just like, what? I saw what people were wearing, like, but I didn't really process it in the same way that I feel like a dude growing up during that era, like, was paying attention to it.
Gotcha.
Facts. I mean, and we getting back to the DMV like culture. Like,
Yeah.
I still never been to a club like Love.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Love was different, bro. Love was different. Like, Love is different, and then also Park was different. Park, and you see how it's got its longevity as well too. Like,
Yeah.
but I remember Bees.
I think that
Inferno,
restaurant portion with Park is a real asset too.
Oh,
Yes,
facts.
yeah.
Facts. They're
jerk wings.
Them brunches. used to
Low key
go up.
underrated club in the DMV, Fur nightclub.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
I feel like it was for, like, if you was like 18 or 21, that was one of them spots. Like,
Yeah,
Fern
because
and
they had the
Beezer,
underage.
like,
They had
yes.
the underage parties. I would drive up from Maryland and go to Fur nightclub.
Straight up.
I celebrated New Year's Eve in Fur nightclub,
Really?
and the let out was ridiculous.
Bruh.
Man.
Straight up. I went to Jay-Z. It was either Black Album. I want to say it was a Black Album or American Gangster album party of Love. That was my last time there.
Jeez.
I'm sorry, I got off track, but
Nah, this is.
But that's
this-
what
this
I was
is
getting
good.
dressed for.
This is nostalgic.
That's
bro.
what I was
Like,
getting dressed for when I was
the
younger,
youngest
bro.
gotta hear this because they don't know what clubbing
I'm like,
is
you don't
nowadays.
know.
You go
You
in
don't
there,
know.
you know where to sit. It's all tables. It's not doing nothing. Like, bro, they used to be dance floors in clubs.
And we ain't
bro.
even get into
Exactly.
like the whole go-go portion
Facts.
of the DMV like club scene growing up. Like the whole go-go portion was a whole nother situation. Like where you at the Culture Club on Thursdays, you at Neon on Fridays, you at the Chef on Saturdays. Like these is classic moments. It was always something to do.
Always.
It was
Always.
always something to do.
Yeah.
Even today, it's always something. It's 18 brunches going on right now.
8 at least. Like,
Minimum.
I tell people all the time, they could talk about brunch, New York, Atlanta, whatever. Listen, when it comes,
It's
if
had this
if
all
the brunch capital right
if
here.
brunch was an Olympic sport, DC wins gold.
Yeah.
We are like the USA basketball team. We win gold
Facts.
every
Brunch
single
into day
time, bro.
parties.
Yes.
Brunch into day parties, into
Night
sleep
parties.
mistakes, and then back out for night parties.
Listen,
Like
I did this once, and I promise you, I will never do it again because I was not built for this. I left my house for brunch at like 10.
oh,
I did not get home till 3 in the morning. I said, yo, I'm not built like y'all. Don't invite me out again. That is that is like DC Sunday fun day to the max. You leave the house at like 10, and you don't come back till 4 in the morning. And then you got to work the next day because this is on a Sunday.
That was the 20 teens for me. The 20 teens for me.
I went-
Sunday fun day.
I went to brunch one time and ended up in New York for 3 days.
Yo, that's wild. That's wild, though. That is
I'm
wild.
not even surprised.
Started at Dirty Martini. Now I'm in Bronx.
Dirty
Now I'm in the Bronx.
martini.
I'm like, how,
Tell you, bro.
how, Sway?
Gold medal.
Man.
Gold medal DC
Yes,
brunch.
The
straight
good old
up.
days.
So, all right. So tell me a little bit. How did you get into doing grills? Because I feel like I don't see a lot of people getting into it. So kind of like starting out where it started, like even with your We Buy Gold storefront that you had, and get into how you actually got into start making grills.
Yeah, so when I was graduating undergrad at Bowie State University, I ain't had no job offers, but I really wasn't looking for no job either. Like I was,
What'd you study at Bowie State?
my first Bowie State, my undergrad was history, and I focused on gender discrimination in the civil rights movement, right?
Gender discrimination in the civil rights.
Within the civil rights movement, So I
Can
started.
you unpack that a little bit?
See, the thing is, bro, when he told, all right, so every time our guests come on, we do a pre-call, and it was like I had an idea of where I want to go with Rich, and then he started telling me about, all right, so undergrad you did history, focusing that. What'd you do in your master's?
My master's degree is in global humanities with a focus on rhetoric of resistance and rebellion in Greek mythology, slave narratives, and Beyonce's Super Bowl performance.
And then you're doing your PhD.
And
What's your PhD?
My PhD is at Temple right now, and that's in Africology and African American Studies, where I study on Nomo, a concept that comes from the Dogon tribe in Mali. It's described as the generative power of the spoken word, and I'm writing an Afrocentric accompaniment to teaching African Americans communications at historically black colleges and universities. With a side note of breaking the economic chains of African enslavement in America.
So you see how I was torn, because I'm like, bro, there is so much there.
We can just talk about this.
But then it's like, bro makes the fire grills too, and this is a fashion podcast, so it's like I'm torn. I'm like, bro, I'm just like, yo, how do we structure this episode? This man, like, that's why I said this man is multifaceted. I'm not joking, bro. Like, this man got layers. Like,
we need some new curriculum in these schools, can we talk like?
We need a new paradigm in these schools. The problem is not the curriculum. The problem is the paradigm from which these curriculums are born from. Like, if you come from a certain culture, your language is different. You can speak the same language, but you use it in a different way. Like, so some people, like, a polo is a shirt with a collar. To us, a polo is a Ralph Lauren shirt with a collar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm in New Orleans, like, and I'm with my Haitians, like, they not saying refrigerator, they saying Frigidaire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when Michael Jackson says bad, he's not saying a negative connotation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who's bad? Like, who is the most prepared person in this situation?
Right.
Like, who is the person that you should fear in this circumstance? So, like, when we are in something like communications and the way we communicate, we have to realize that the way that we use language comes from a cultural background that dates back thousands of years. So when we start talking about a culture that separates church and state, that's not natural for black people. We don't separate church and state. Like, everything is the same. We don't believe in a language that's separated from our divine purpose. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you talk, that's the first thing we, like, you talk like you from, like, you ain't real. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't from wherever, you know what I mean? Like, so I use concepts like Nomo, concepts like Jed, like different concepts like that. Itutu with the Yoruba people, like, which means cool. Like, it's not, you're not just Ashe is life force, right? It's the spirit, it's the creative spirit, right? But you have Itutu, which means cool, like a calm, which is another element to how we speak. Like, we also try and sound cool, like, you know what I mean? Like our lingo, our language, where we come from, like, the way we express ourselves. That's what I'm passionate about. That first paper was fire though. I think I done wrote some of the most firest papers for real. That's, I mean, I make some fire grills too though. So I'm with you there.
You might have to, do a blog and let us see one of your joints. I would actually love to read one of your papers for real.
Real talk, man. I got a little podcast too. Y'all should check out.
Okay.
Man. It's good. You know, I be talking. You know, I be talking.
Okay. All right. See, it's going easily.
It could go either way. You know what I mean? But yeah, those were my focuses as far as scholarship. Those have been my focuses. My most interesting paper, which brings back to what we talking about. I was alluding to it earlier. I wrote in a rhetoric course at Towson University where I got my master's, which was called The Rhetoric of Dress. The falling of man into fashion. So my argument was that when God confronts Adam and Eve after, Adam ate the apple, they realized they're naked and they cover their private parts, right? So then it's this guy named Gustave Doré, who's a popular sculptor, popular artist of that era, like of that Enlightenment era. So he do like stuff like Ludovico Ariosto and Orlando Furioso with the Italian Enlightenment period. That's like their trademark book. He does some stuff with Dante's Inferno, with the Aeneid and all of that. And his first illustration is with like Eve covering her breast and vagina and Adam covering his penis, right? So with like leaves. And this is the first pose to me. Like this is the first dress to me.
Yeah, because that's funny. It's just because I'm listening to my Bible, so I had to stop because it was Eve that ate the apple, not Adam.
Eve that ate the apple.
Yes.
I thought Eve got the apple and gave it to Adam.
She ate it and then she gave it.
Did Adam eat the apple too?
He did.
So that's why both their eyes were open.
Yeah, so they both eat the apple, eyes open up, like God come, like they're embarrassed, they're naked, boom, 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 boom. So then for me, dressing became the art of concealment, but at the same time, it begins as the art of concealment, but with our redemption, it then becomes the art of expression as well. You know what I mean? So like, it's like, how do we express ourselves and conceal valuable things? So then I get into like the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, and I start looking at suits. And the reason why suits became so popular is because it's so easily to conceal things. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does a detective? The detective got that joint in his rib cage. You know what I'm saying? Now it's hip. You feel me? And you might not know what I got on when I got this suit jacket on. You know, so then you start learning like decorum, even how we look at hats and wearing hats inside. All of these things come from the utility of clothing, which is concealment. So like, I used to work on a lot of different things. My interests have always varied. For real.
Gotcha. All right, let's talk about how you got into grills because that was a crazy story as well.
Yeah, little tangent.
Yeah.
Oh, these grills. That's what I was supposed to be talking about.
Yes.
My bad, audience.
Nah, you flowing. I'm with
You
it.
don't have to apologize.
My bad, audience. So
We
I
love
got
a
into
tangent over
grills.
here.
Get back to school. So I'm at Towson University, and I'm taking this class called The Jewish Understanding of the Human Being. After undergrad, I ain't had no job opportunities. I wasn't looking, but my bro, Marcus, he hit me up and asked me to go into business with him, building these We Buy Gold stores in Baltimore. So we built one in Mondawmin Mall, Lexington Market, and Security Square Mall. So I'm still in class. I'm still taking classes, getting my master's degree, taking this class, Jewish Understanding of the Human Being. And I have a speech I have to give at a synagogue. My final presentation was at the Georgetown Synagogue. So I decided I was going to write about this guy called Judah Halevi, who's a Jewish preacher, minister, mathematician, philosopher, so forth and so on. But he was living in Spain in the 7th century. At the time, Spain was being ran by the Muslims, and this is during the Christian Crusade, so he was in between a rock and a hard place. And I was writing a paper on the book he wrote called The Kuzari. The Kuzari was about a king who was trying to convert from his traditional belief system into a Semitic religion. So he brings in a representative from Christianity, Islam, and Judaism to kind of convince him. But this 7th century. So like again, culturally, for me to understand what they writing, I could read the words and I could understand the words, but I need the cultural context
Right.
Yeah.
to really understand what they mean by what they say.
Yeah.
So I got this We Buy Gold joint where I'm buying gold and diamonds and silver off the streets and I'm reselling them to jewelers. You know what I'm saying? Jewelers is from Russia, jewelers is Jewish, jewelers is everywhere. Like even to this day, like my meetings be like the United Nations. Like I be feeling like I'm, you know, in New York somewhere. Like
Yeah.
really like in the middle of like a foreign trade, right? So I'm doing all this and I start asking dudes like questions about what I'm reading. And this dude named Farouz, he took a real liking to me. And we started having some real deep conversations. You know, Farouz he was from the outskirts of Russia, and he moved over here making jewelry and stuff. Then he goes on to get into real estate, but you know, he started bringing me discs from his mosque. One disc he brought me was it said Muhammad, it said Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, and it was a lecture from his imam, teaching me everything he learned, and I'm teaching him everything I know. And he asked me one day, like, why don't I get into making jewelry when, you know, my people are the ones who wear it? And he don't wear it because wearing gold for him and his religion was, what do they call it, haram. You know, like for him to wear yellow jewelry, at least how they interpreted it in his religious organization. And I asked him where he learned how to make jewelry from. He told me a country, I ain't gonna name the country with the foreign stuff going on right now. He told me the country, and I said, quote unquote, and y'all could blurt me out. I said, nigga, I'm never going there. He like, he said, come on, brother, I'll teach you right here. And they invited me into like their circle and started teaching me things. But again, like it wasn't about jewelry. Like even the people who asked me can I help them learn how to make grills, I tell them I can't because in my opinion, it's not something that an individual should teach another individual. I believe that it is a community. Like I don't think you can learn how to be a soldier just from another soldier. Like I feel like you have to go into a place, a space, an environment that specializes in breeding and building soldiers. You know, like you need a network. Like you can't be alone in the jewelry industry. You know, like it's only so far you can get alone. Because how can you be recruiting clients and making jewelry all day? Like, and this is an 800, 900 degree Fahrenheit oven you dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be posting Instagram pictures while you working with this oven. You know what I'm saying? Like when you working in this highly combustible situation, like you playing with fire, literally. You know, so that was my introduction into the game, and that was 12 years ago, 2012. My people be on my line, bro. I love y'all. I love y'all dearly. I swear to God. But that's how I got into making jewelry. I started off really making custom pieces. First piece I made was for my clothing company I had back in the day. I co-owned a clothing company called Boss Collection, BAUS Collection. And that was the first piece I made was the logo. It was so rink-a-dink, but I loved that piece, bro. I love that piece.
So what type of clothing were you doing with Boss Clothing?
Boss Collection was crazy. And I really give a lot of credit to Marcus because to me, he's like one of the most craziest marketing geniuses I know. And he just always knows what people like. So the first piece that he designed was the Dozen Roses. And it was like roses with cheetah print and zebra print like dispersed throughout it. And it had two big roses on it. Like, bruh, I think we sold probably like 8,000 of them joints.
But it's like hoodies,
shirts. And then we had this joint called The Boss Amore. Like, The Boss Amore. Like, you damn near had to be a celebrity to get that shirt. Like he styled Jewel Santana, Kimbella, Mandisi's. He styled Rich Homie Quan for his first video shoot.
Okay.
Meek Mill, Rick Ross. He was styling everybody. Like he was styling everybody. We was at All Star Weekend in New York, delivering pieces to Yo Gotti, like Big Jug, rest in peace. Like we was like, I ain't gonna lie, like I learned a lot from him just in business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I learned a lot from him. So that was, you know, and he was the first one to start promoting on Instagram, like through Baller Alert. Not the first one, but he was promoting through Baller Alert, Shade Room, back when you could post your stuff for like $200.
Wow.
Crazy. Throwbacks. Yes. Throwbacks. I be talking and forgetting the question all the time, y'all.
Nah, you all good. I think the next thing we want to shift into is the next segment. We like to do a little bit of like this or that, so we'll make it like a quick hit. So I'm gonna just throw two things out, and you just say which one you like better.
Okay.
We're doing a little DC clothing edition. So we're gonna do shooters of Bonadachi.
Oh, you doing this?
Couple of
Just
them.
not right.
Shooters of Bonadachi. You gotta choose.
Shooters.
Hobo or Madness. I know that's tough.
Come on, bro. That's not even right.
I know that's tough. Gotta choose though.
Hobo.
Yeah,
Madness was a little bit before me.
Okay, we're gonna do Eat or Sabiato. Eat. Last one.
Supporting everybody black.
Museum or Pray For.
Bro, that's criminal to ask that question, bro. I'm gonna go Pray For.
Pray For. Listen, don't start nothing. We just asking questions.
I swear to God, I think every party you named was a legend. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I think all of those guys.
For sure.
I don't know a lot of them personally, but you know, I admire the hell out of all of y'all.
I think we definitely need like a documentary on that Urban Wear DC run,
Yeah.
the Hobos, Universal Madness, Shooters, Bonadachi, Sabiato, like that early ones. Because I remember growing up, bro, I was like, I know we discussed before, because I know you were very into fashion, like you were into like the Vogues very young. And I think the fact that me growing up in PG County, because we had that whole, our own like urban wear, and then we wore a lot of New Balance and stuff like that. And then plus go-go is like, we were like in our own bubble for real. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember if you was listening to like Jay-Z.
they thought you was from New York.
Yeah, like where you from? Like
If you wasn't trying to start a go-go band, you was trying to rap, they thought you was from New York. Like,
I just realized this recently because I was talking to I'm not gonna snitch on one of my line sisters, and she was just saying like she didn't really resonate, and she's from DC, so she was like, I didn't really grow up listening to like Little Kim. I didn't really grow up listening to like, you know, a lot of these New York rappers, and I was like, what, really? And I realized I was listening to it because we had friends from New York. That was the difference. Like, so we went to a boarding school. So we had friends who, like, that's all they listened to. They listened to Caribbean music and New York rappers. And so I started listening to Caribbean music and New York rappers. And I think they outnumbered us. I feel like people from New York, New Jersey outnumbered us from the DMV area. And so I kind of like, their culture like kind of got infused into like
it was really only like
they have an infectious culture though.
Yeah, it was really only me and you, because it's like I got thinking my man's around me, like it was Nelson,
there were more
like
like art in our class.
Yeah,
in our class it was just
yeah. So it was like
and
a lot more New
Vaughn.
York. Vaughn. Yeah, so it's like I remember I got there, started listening to Lloyd Banks, G Unit, like my man. We was all we just went right. So it's like I kind of
G Unit kind of changed. By the time G Unit came around, like the go-go era was being what's the word I want to say?
Was being like cleansed of the DC almost.
They were trying to cleanse the district of go-go.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
because it was so much.
They just had the campaign "Don't Mute DC" or something like that.
Like that, literally, that one. So that's funny because that whole story is funny because, so it was a Metro PCS store somewhere in DC. They always used to play go-go.
Yeah,
like and
the one.
I forgot what street it was, but But basically, so the
Florida. Off Florida.
the transplants, aka gentrifiers, started complaining about
Yeah.
the music, and that was literally the resurgence. Like that's how we got Mochella. That's how
Yep.
we got a lot more go-go's popping and stuff like that. So it's funny, like you guys were complaining about the music, and they were kind of like the catalyst for the resurgence of go-go, because go-go had died because they were trying to cleanse it. Because at the go-go's there was a lot of violence, there was a lot of people dying, there was a lot of hoods.
Facts. And they
And the
made it
Go-Go's well,
impossible
too.
to throw them. They would put all of these things where you had to have certain type of security, you know, to have these events, and it just made it financially like
Yeah.
irresponsible to invest in the go-go anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's the other side. Like when you talk about go-go music, go-go culture, you can't do it without also talking about the promoters of go-go, like, you know, or big promotions back in the day, and the other companies. Like these guys were businessmen. They were entrepreneurs that were, you know, living off of our culture, you know, and that's what we all try to do. Like we talk about, you know, bad and black, you feel me? Like I think my biggest blessing in the world is my entire life is afforded to me by mostly black people. Like my bills get paid by black people. Like, and it's not like I told these kids this a couple weeks ago. It's not like I'm selling insurance. Like I
Yeah.
ain't selling nothing nobody need. I'm selling gold teeth with some diamonds sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy. I tell people all the time, this is one of the few areas where you could just like be, and like if you like play it right, like you can just see all black people
You can.
literally
And
from morning to night.
Yep. And like just amazing like services that we get access to because there's so many black people around. I went to this restaurant, which y'all need to go to Almeda.
Almeda.
It's kind of like a hole in the wall in what neighborhood is that? Petworth.
Okay.
And it's, you know, black woman chef. Like the whole staff is black women basically. And the food is banging. And it's Afro fusion.
Okay.
So they have like catfish and spaghetti. They got doubles, like Trinidadian doubles. They have jollof risotto. That shit was banging. And I was just like, when I walked in the door, I felt like I was home. And when I left, I felt like I was like leaving my friends. I was like, this was a dope experience. And I feel like the DMV can really do that for you.
Yeah.
I don't know about Atlanta because you know how they be with the restaurants. And be you
Keith
kind of
Lee-
mad at
Keith
your
Lee
own
already
people when you
exposed
leave.
that. Keith Lee already pulled the curtain back and showed us what's good on that front.
Straight up.
But all right, so let's
The Mecca, man.
let's get into grills though.
Let's get into grills.
So what should people know before actually? Because Andima wants to get a grill, so start
I
asking the
do.
questions.
Yeah, tell me what I should know about getting a girl. How do I prepare to get a girl?
I think the first thing you should do is just educate yourself.
Okay.
You know, like you're still getting something made of a material. So let's focus on the material we're using to make your product. Like gold is one of the most valuable resources on this world. It's gold in every electric machine I see here. Why? Because gold conducts electricity better than any other metal that we are aware of, you know. So, and we are electromagnet beings, you know. So when you start talking about gold, the purest form of gold is 24 karat, like the Bruno Mars song, 24 karat, everything 24 karat, right? So after you have that, you can look at that as 24 parts, meaning that I'm going to take 24 parts and make one piece, right? When I say 10 karat gold, I'm saying 10 parts gold, 14 parts something else. If you do the math, that's going to mean 41.7% gold, 58.3% what we call multi-metals, metals that burn at a low temperature that you can easily fuse with gold to make a tougher, denser product. Then you have 14 karat, which is 14 parts gold, 10 parts something else, right? That gets you to 58.3 to infinity, right? We jewelers, you just gonna see 585. You're gonna see the stuff on your jewelry. If you buy a 10 karat chain, it might not say 10 karat, it might say 417. If you buy a 14 karat chain, it might not say 14 karat, it might say 585. Then you get 18 karat, that's 75% gold, you know. Now you got so much gold in your piece and you got very little of those multi-metals. And then with 22 karat, you talk about like 91.2%, right? Gold purity, right? Sound like I'm talking about something else, right? But gold purity. what does this mean? Like gold has properties, unique properties that other precious metals don't have. Gold operates more like a mineral than a metal. You know, it has more properties of a rock than it does like steel. You get what I'm saying? So heat, like how does it tolerate heat? The higher the carat for those people who like to hookah it up at your favorite lounge. Like you want to go with a high carat because you're exposing it to heat, you're exposing it to smoke. So you want to get into something with those gold properties. Because if I melt gold down, the liquid version of it is still gold. But those multi-metals like brass, copper, nickel, I put fire to them, it's going to look like your shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and that's also where you get into tarnishing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you start getting into other concepts like the weaknesses of those other metals that we're mixing your gold with are important. Things like porosity, like the little air pockets that you can see. You know, you can't see them from afar, but you get close, you see them little air pockets, like little discolorations and stuff. The higher the carat, the less you got to worry. I mean, you don't got to worry about none of this at Rich Grillz because we mix all of our grills for pure alloy, you know, which is why it takes us a little bit longer because I'm using better materials to make something that you're going to wear in your mouth. You know, like the human mouth is the dirtiest part of our bodies. It's dirtier than a dog's mouth. You know what I'm saying? So we need to, it is like, it really is, you know what I'm saying? Because dogs eat raw food and stuff. So, like, they have to have different things to break down bacteria naturally, right? But for us, like, when we talk about what we're going to wear on our teeth, like, you really need to make sure that you're going with as high of a carat as you're economically comfortable with going with. You won't regret it. I tell people to wait before you rush or settle. Like, because I'm not wearing nothing less than 18 karat. I mean, but the good thing about Rich Grillz, because we use a pure alloy, you could come in with some 10 karat and leave, and you probably shining better than them 14, 18 carats you done bought from wherever, you know. But you can't go wrong. But the higher the carat, the better. Always, always. But other than that, our slogan is we got a style for every smile. So just know the basic principles of the material that you're going to be wearing, and then when you come in, we'll get all the design things together. And one more thing for girls and women and men who like these dainty grills, these 1 teeth sets, 1, 2 teeth sets.
Oh, damn, because that's what I want.
Yeah, y'all gotta be careful for that. You good because you have more naturally full teeth.
Okay.
But everybody don't have that. Like if you know you got small teeth, then you
it looks weird.
It ain't looking weird. It's not gonna stay up.
Oh.
Y'all trying to defy gravity with these little teeth.
Defy gravity.
With these little teeth. Like, you know, it's nothing to anchor them up. So when you come in, just, you know, regardless of what you ask for, I'm going to get you something similar to the aesthetic. But just be open to suggestion and trusting my recommendations. I'm never upselling nobody. I don't upsell nobody because I want you to buy the worst version of it because I know you're going to come back and get the better version of it later. But I'm only going to give you good advice once.
What's the most popular type of grill that you sell?
Right now it's the bridge set for sure.
Can you explain to
a
people
bridge
what that
set
means?
is the 2 cuspid teeth.
Okay.
Your carnivorous teeth.
Gotcha.
Your cuspids.
Okay.
And it's a bar that goes over the front 4 incisors. It's a very popular grill.
The bottom or the top?
Bottom.
Or both? Okay. Bottom is
top.
popular.
Bridge sets on the top are not as popular because the smile arc on the top is more drastic than the bottom. Them front 4 teeth on the bottom are pretty straight and aligned with one another.
Yeah.
But them 4 teeth on the top, they curve like that. So a bar that's going, things that you want to look like a straight line, but then you're also dealing with something that is not going straight across. Then, you know, we getting into mathematics now and geometry and stuff like with lines and curves and stuff like that. So that's just a little bit different. But I would say a bottom bridge set is very popular for the fellas. I would say like a bottom 8-piece is getting real popular right now with the fellas. I think I got something to do with that, but I'm real big on incorporating those molars and premolars into your grill because it just makes for a more comfortable, secure fit. Like functionality and utility wise, incorporating your premolars is always a good idea. So if you want a 2-piece, I'm gonna say, hey, let's get it, let's add it, let's make this a 3-piece, get that premolar in there, and now you're not talking all crazy.
This is a really specific random question. Just now, this has become a consultation for me.
I was about to say, you might as well make it one, and they'll learn.
I asked my dentist friends, I was like, all right, y'all, so, I'm thinking about getting my bottom teeth straightened out. And I was like, can I still get a grill? Like, if they put a permanent retainer in my mouth, am I still able to get a grill?
Yes, I would just say, again, let's get them premolars in. Now you really need to get them premolars involved because if you get that permanent retainer, it's going to be a bar going across your front 6 teeth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes it's your front 4 teeth, right? But if I go into that premolar, now your area where I'm going to really make the grill secure and fit is going to be around the metal that's on your permanent retainer. Gotcha. So like I said, I got a style for every smile.
He's a professional.
Yeah. Like straight
professional.
Up. Yeah. Straight up. We celebrated making 5,000 grills last October.
Oh wow.
So like it ain't, I don't think it's too much I ain't seen.
What do you think about I don't want to say pop culture, that's not the right word. But like couture, high fashion, even like hype beast culture, basically adopting grills and making them part of the fashion sense.
It's going across the board. They're adapting black culture.
Right.
Dapper Dan. You know what I'm saying? They was locking
I was trying to say
up.
it in a polite way is where I was my approach.
But they was locking him up 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now they giving him creative director positions. You know what I'm saying? Louis Vuitton hiring Pharrell, Tyler Creator just dropped a really fire line with Louis Vuitton. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people saying they like it more than Pharrell joint.
I mean,
Pharrell like what, 50 something? Like I think he making clothes for different people. Like I don't think.
That's a good point.
I'm not trying to dress like a 55-year-old man. Like I'm just not. Like
good point.
Like he the same age as probably Eminem and Jay-Z. Like I don't want to dress like them. Tyler Creator's young. He's fly. He's been fly.
Been fly.
Yeah. Like
she got into his store in LA. I told you.
Golf. Was it golf?
Golf wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Next
like
time.
so.
Next time.
But I see it across the board. Like Kanye West and Adidas.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan and Nike. Like like it's been a real big push.
Yeah.
Everything that Travis Scott doing with Nike now. Like it's been a real big push to adopt. We always been that though. Like I say DC culture and Nike tech. Like you know what I'm saying? Like like we determine what's popping. Bama's wasn't wearing Nike North Faces and Eddie Bauer coats back in the day. Like we determine what people like because we are gonna somebody will see a hiking pants that's perfect for snowboarding, and we see something that we can wear to the club. Like, and, you know what I'm saying? Like,
as soon as it get cold, you're going to see a Helly Hansen snowsuit.
You know what I'm saying?
I want one of them so bad.
It ain't got to be a snowflake in sight. They just got to say 42 degrees.
Yep, they got their snowsuit.
You know what I'm saying? I got my snowsuit on. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Nike boot was a police boot.
Yeah.
Police officers used to wear Nike boots. That's who used to come to the Foot Locker to buy. But then we see that and say, yo, this boot is fire, and it makes me an inch taller.
Yeah.
For real.
But do you think it's being done in a respectful way? Like, are black people getting the credit they deserve for
Cultural appropriation can never be done respectfully.
Amen to that.
It could never be. The intention is not respect. The intention is to take advantage of a free market system, where as long as I can garner profit, I can play the middleman. And sometimes situations where the middleman make more than the innovator is the real disrespectful portion of it. So then when we get instances when the innovator is the one that's getting the bulk share of the profits, then you start seeing them get dragged through the mud, you know,
Yeah.
and all of these other things that don't have anything to do with like what they created get thrown into the mix. I be passionate about these things, you know, like because if we start criminalizing black men and women who not committing any crimes, like it's no reason why even black people talk about Kanye the way they talk about him for his opinion. Like when y'all cousins and y'all homegirls and y'all homeboys be doing disgusting, trifling things and you still stand by them, but we really will stop supporting somebody because of their political views, even though they didn't do nothing to society to make it a worse place. Like, and that be my issue. Like, our innovators are going to keep being demeaned anytime they reach positions of power because we are so easily swayed in our public opinions of our people, of our greats. Like, and you know, so that was my Ye. I'm hoping Ye see one of my interviews. And
So
give me a call,
you
bro.
believe in separating the artists from their views, or
I don't believe in separating the artists from their views,
But you don't
I
want
don't
to.
believe in demonizing an artist because of their views. Because if you look at the greatest artists that we celebrate from all time, they all had some type of something we don't like. Something drastic we don't like. Like,
I agree with that, but I feel like my other thing I think about is that your platform has the ability to influence people in a certain way. And I get nervous when I see people using their platform in a certain way and the impact that it has on like the next generation. And I'm not even specifically talking about Kanye. I'm talking about like there's a lot of things where I'm just like, yo, like the youth are seeing this shit and they're doing this shit and they don't have celebrity behind them to protect them.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I'm honestly I get the most worried about.
as you should, but on the real, just being a teacher, the youth not even communicating right now. Like free thought, free thinking, because of people are scared. I'm scared to speak my mind because everything I say has to be status quo. Like I can't have an opinion anymore. You know what I mean? Like to remove somebody's opinion and make everything they say have to fit into a mold of consumerability is a dangerous game we starting to play, you know, because again, I disagree with most things I read and see, you know, but I'm the type of person that can say, yo, that person said 3 life-changing, powerful things, and 2, I don't know if you should have said that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The problem becomes is the people that want to see us lose will put all of their dollars and advertisements and algorithms towards spreading that negative message, and then that positive message gets silenced. You know, so that's what I do caution our youth thinkers of tomorrow to be careful, because it's not about the messenger, it's about the message. And sometimes we infuse who we are as people when we know better, you know, when we know like we have a purpose that we were born to fill in this world, and through fashion, you know, is one mechanism of fulfilling that purpose. You know, it might give you the platform to fulfill that purpose, you know? Like, I know that you're going to be an amazing fashion designer, you know, but I know you won't only be a fashion designer. You know what I'm saying? This platform, like this podcast, is proof of that. Like, and the further we get in our personal, professional lives, the more abundant and the more celebrated the message that we share from our divine source will become. Like, the better the woman, the better the man, the more effective the message. That's with anybody. Like, I don't want to just hear Jesus talk. Like, I want to see some miracles. like, I want to see some miracles. Now, water the wine. You done fed everybody. Okay, talk to me more about this God guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you telling me that I need to change the way I'm thinking to make it out of my socioeconomic environment? Show me your miracle. Like, show me how you maneuvered and navigated through this crazy world. I ask one question to people: is it easy to live life or be great? Because life is hard. Then add on trying to be amazing. Which one is harder? You know?
That's a good question.
Which one is harder? Like, where does our struggle come from? You know? Those be the tears.
That's interesting because I feel like you're one of the first people I think I've heard actually say, like, it's not about the messenger, it's the message. Because I feel like online it's the opposite. They'll say, like, oh, they may have said something, but he's not the right messenger for it, or she's not the right messenger for it. And I feel like as long as what's said makes sense, I feel like you have to learn to filter through that. That's what I think. How do you feel about that?
So I agree with that's the way that the world should be. But
it's not.
Unfortunately, it's not the way that people, and this is, you know, because I work in communications, so I was really listening intently to a lot of what you were saying about communications earlier when you were talking about, you know, your thesis. And it just, unfortunately, people just shut down when it's not the right messenger. And it's become worse because of how polarized people are right now. And so, but I agree with you. I'm kind of the mind where I pay attention to the message first before I pay attention to the messenger. And I think that's a unique thing that not a lot of people do. They rarely do. And a part of it, I don't know why I operate in that way.
I was just about to ask you, I wonder, do you feel like society's always been like that, where it has to be the right messenger, or was there a time where as long as the message was good, it came through?
I think society's always been that way, personally.
Society definitely used to be more about the messenger, for sure, because prophecy has always been a thing. You know, so we're looking for the person who's meant to fulfill the prophecy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so with Kemet in Egypt, like, the Pharaoh was the Pharaoh because God anointed him with that power to lead his people. So the message coming from the Pharaoh is a message that is, quote unquote, aligned with meiotic principles, and he is the sun. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, your hat is, some people would say that's a Kemetic symbol. You know what I mean? That means house. You know, and the Pharaoh in Egypt, his name is Perah, which means big house. So you'll see a picture of a pharaoh in the four corners with a, and that means that this is the Perah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I definitely think that the messenger matters for sure. Like, but the people who are addicted to winning in the world don't care. When I learned that our oppressor was the ones who knew more about our history than us, I realized, like, this is what propaganda looks like. Propaganda, whereas when I tell you that your truth don't matter, right? Because it's coming from you, or it's coming from people who look like you. But meanwhile, I'm taking advantage of all of the scientific innovations that they have made over the history of time. Like, I tell people, you don't gotta listen to me, please. Like, you don't gotta listen. If it's something about me that or if I've ever said something that makes everything I ever say like super cat, okay, cool. But don't get mad if somebody does listen to me and what I say works. Because the math is 1 + 1 = 2. Beyonce voice. 1 + 1 = 2. Like, you can get mad at the person telling you the equation, or you can start figuring out how you can plug your variables into that equation. Because sometimes we don't disagree with the equation, we disagree with the variables.
That's a good point. I remember on our pre-calc, you said like business, you feel like business is an equation, you just got to plug in.
You just plug in your It's variables. An equation. Like, it's an equation. Get all of that other stuff out of there. Buy it for the low, sell it for the high. Like, I don't got to sell grills. I can get rich off of selling toilet paper. If I want it, like, I know for a fact that I can make $1 million selling toilet paper. Like, if I get a great plug for toilet paper, and then I post up somewhere selling toilet paper for cheaper than Giant is selling toilet paper, guess where everybody gonna buy their toilet paper from? Everybody gonna be copping that Downy from me. Now I'm the plug. Don't overthink business. Business is not to be overthought. Like, it is supply
and
demand.
That's it.
And then profits. And margin. Like,
Yep.
That's right.
Capitalism. Free market. The man is trying to subjugate us. I'm a goofball.
Educated one.
Educated.
Very
goofball.
educated.
Educated.
So this is a question we ask all our guests.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
My favorite question. Oh, it's not an uh-oh. It's a yeah.
It's a
good
ooh.
one. Yeah.
Ooey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what's your favorite black fashion moment?
Okay. I got two for real.
Right,
But
well,
am I limited to one?
2 is permissible.
I'll let you get the 2.
Oh.
We know no 3.
No 3, but it's 2. It's
Cool.
2.
Permissible.
It's 2.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna start off with number 2,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna get into number 1.
All right.
Okay.
bet.
Number 2 is that Kanye West fashion show where he dropped the Beautiful Morning joint, like when
Oh, when they were in the stadium.
when they're in the stadium,
Yes,
with
yes, yes,
Travis
yes, yes, yes.
Guy, all those
Yeah, yeah.
guys. Like, I thought that was just
That was all right. That
epic.
hey, that meme did numbers online too.
Epic.
Yes. It was.
If Young Metro don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that was epic. That's an epic moment to me. And my number 1 moment is from the movie State Property 2.
Okay.
Camron got out of the pink Range Rover with the pink fur coat, pink fur hat, pink diamond pinky ring,
Oh my
pink
God.
diamond necklaces. Like, and I said, yo,
Classic.
this is the flyest thing I ever seen in my life.
The classic.
This is the flyest thing I ever seen in my life. Like,
Yeah.
that's my number 1 fashion moment of all times, bro. Like, I truly always thought that, like, Dipset were some of the pioneers of black fashion
Oh, facts.
in the
Yeah.
golden,
Facts.
following the golden
Facts.
age of hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you start getting into Ed Hardy and then eventually Supreme. Like, it's no Supreme without Jim Jones and Jewel Santana. You know, like, but nah, when Camron dropped out in the all pink, pink was my favorite color since I was a kid. Like,
Okay.
we had an art teacher in 3rd grade. Her name was Senorita Gary. And she gave out all the crayons to everybody, and I had to get the last crayon, and it was Tickle Me Pink in the crayon box.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, everybody was laughing at me, but I was like,
It's fly.
this is fire. Like, this is fire. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. Like, straight up. That was, when K-Ron did that, bro, that's my number 1 moment.
All right.
Number 1 moment.
There you have it.
That's a great one.
I think we can end on that.
That's a great one.
I think you guys, I'm glad this episode went this way because I feel like you guys got to see what I saw when we were doing this pre-call. It's like there's so many layers, so many places we can go. So trust me, we didn't mind your rants or nothing like that, bro. You took us to some great conversations. So we really appreciated you having you on the show. Let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me, just type in Rich Grillz.
Rich Grillz.
On any of the mobile devices y'all got made of gold. You know? Yeah, that's all you gotta do. You'll find me. I ain't hard to find.
I ain't hard to
Deion
find.
Sanders.
Deion
voice,
Sanders.
You know?
I ain't
Like,
hard to
I ain't hard to
find.
find. If you looking for me, you'll find me.
Okay. And then you can find us at Got This in Black on Instagram and TikTok. On Instagram, you can hit our link tree to see where we post our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple as well.
Like, subscribe,
Like,
comment,
subscribe,
all that.
comment,
Tell us what
share,
you want to hear next, what
rate
you want to
us.
see next.
Rate us, please.
Rate us.
Rate us.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Share. All that good stuff, man. We trying to find our audience, man. So come through, stop playing, all right? We trying to monetize on YouTube, all right? But
Yeah.
now that's it, man. If you in, like he said, you in the DMV, you trying to get some grills, see my guy Rich, man.
Yes.
I think this podcast already sold you enough. Like, yeah.